Hello and welcome to the first episode of what I will hope will become a series that I'm dubbing Yugioh Explored. In this series, I will be going through every single archetype and some select decks in semi-alphabetical order to explore and show off some things that I think the deck can do, maybe some fun things. Now, I am a mostly casual player, and I've always played on a budget, so a lot of my deck lists will probably present that, not be playing the most expensive cards, and maybe being the most fun variant of a deck rather than the most competitively viable variant of a deck. With that said, let's get into this with the first episode. So recently I have been hearing a lot of hubbub about how Altergeist is just a crazy good deck now. It got a bunch of new support now, 4 new cards, and they're all seemingly viable from DUNE lately. Of course, they have the Malwisp, the Paratrader, Revitalization, and the new Adminia. Some people, I've seen lots of videos. I know PackTCG has a really good one out. I really recommend watching his video. I've seen lots of cool combos that end on just like some crazy cool boards. And people are saying that the entire deck is now completely revamped. I can't seem to get a good hand going here, but maybe eventually. Oh, this does it. People seem to think that this combo, or that the deck really is just going to be a tiered deck now. We're able to compete with the top meta decks, but I personally really don't think so. And today I was hoping that I could kind of show off why I think that. So there's a couple things that I think the new Altergeist support does that's positive that I'll explain first. I think that, of course, having more playable Altergeist cards is really good. There's, of course, there's already a lot of Altergeist cards, but a lot of them are they're just terrible. Like Pixel here, just like, I can't even pronounce half of them. But a lot of these cards are just not all that playable, not all that good. But they just got some new ones. Malwisp helps the deck extend a lot if you can search it out of your deck. Paratrader is like kind of as a Malwisp-esque card. It sends cards to the graveyard, though, when it's sent to the graveyard instead of searching out Altergeist monsters. Revitalization is a reborn, but for the link monsters, and in the graveyard you can banish it for an extra normal, which is good. And then, of course, the new Adminia is a quick effect snatch deal, and it can also set a trap from your deck. All these cards seem to be really strong, helping out the deck in a number of different ways. But my first issue with this deck, personally, is this kind of the lack of consistency that I find this deck has. Like, just doing some test hands here, you have like, this is a dead hand, you have this is like, oh, this hand actually does do it. This hand does it, but then here's like another dead one. This one's another dead one. This one also doesn't do the combo. Like, there's a lot of hands that you get where it's just like, okay, the hand, like, you can set a couple trap cards and hope for the best, but really you're not seeing your combo all that often, and that's because your combo all requires 2 particular cards. They're all 2-card combos. There's no one card in this deck that really gets you all of your advantage online. Like Kashtira has Kashtira Unicorn, or even just their field spell does their entire combo for them. Sprite has Sprite Starter, gets their entire, even like the Nimble Beaver will do it, or Diva will get their entire combo online. And Altergeist just doesn't have any cards like that. You always need to have 2 cards to get anything to work. Of course, usually those cards, like there's Marionetter and Meluseek makes it. Marionetter and Multifigure makes it. Meluseek and Pukri makes it. Even Pukri and Paratrader makes it. So of course there's a good number of cards that do actually do your combo, but there's also an equal number of cards that just don't do anything in your hand. If you draw, Marionetter and like Pugary or Malwisp and Silicoides or Paratrader, and you don't draw Meluseek or Multifigure, it's just, you're not doing anything. Your hand is just, you can't do your combo. Of course, Silicoides is just a straight brick, but you want to play it to summon it off Multifaker. Malwisp does absolutely nothing in the hand. It can only summon itself if you're searching it. And it's not a good normal summon for the deck because you want to be summoning your Marionette or your Meluseek. Paratrader is like okay, but it really only combos specifically with Pukri. Like, of course you can draw your traps, but you really don't want to be drawing them because you want to be setting them or searching them off of your Hextia or your Adminia. You just don't really feel like there's not that many playable cards in here, like, that actually get your combo online, really. Like, I was filling up the deck with a lot of hand traps because there wasn't anything else to really put in here. Like, you have the 1-for-1. You could play, of course, Prosperity, but I personally can't afford it. It's still $50 a copy, so it's not really an option for a lot of budget players. Like, the deck just doesn't feel consistent to me. And the other issue I have with the deck, and this is the biggest one that I have personally, is even if you draw the combo, it just dies to just one interruption. Just any one interruption. Like, if you start off your Marionetter, you normal summon Marionetter, and you get Impermed, you get Veilered, even Ghost Ogred, you're done. Your combo ends there. You don't have anything else you can do. There's no way you can extend further than that. Even if you draw the Pukri, like, what, you make Hexia, and that's it? Like, you don't have any tributes for it. You need to rely on the, like, there's no regular extender that gets you there. If you normal summon like Meluseek, and like, of course, if you draw Meluseek and Pukri, you can chain block for the search for Meluseek, but then you search, you normal summon Meluseek, search Pukri. I'll just show here. Let's just do this. If you normal summon the Meluseek, and then you make the Hextia, right, of course, you can chain block, right? So you still get the search. But then, of course, this part of the combo, then you search for the Malwisp, right? And then, of course, the Malwisp special summons itself. And then you get the Reborn for the Meluseek to continue your combo. But let's say you get Impermed here, or Veilered here, or Ghost Ogred here, or anything, really. You just, once again, there's nothing else you can do. You can't extend. The only other potential extender in this deck is Pukri, but you've already used its effect. The combo is just not resilient to any kind of interruption. Not to mention, like, you can just get nibbed. You have no way to play around nib. Dimension Shifter, which is very common in decks like Kashtira right now, just kill you. Like, the deck kind of just loses to every single type of, like, interruption. And going second, it's even worse, because not only you're dealing with the hand traps your opponent's drawn, but also the board they've already set up. The deck just really can't play into anything. And that's just something you need to be able to do for, like, a competitive deck. I will say some positives about it is it does have a particularly good matchup against cards like Ash Blossom. There's not really a great point in the combo to Ash Blossom this deck. The only part I can really think is maybe if you draw Marionette or Meluseek, you normal summon Marionetter, you set the Haunted Rock, send the Meluseek, reborn it back off Marionetter, and then you link into Hextia. You can't chain block the Meluseek search, so that can be Ash, and then your combo is just done right there. But usually the only other Ash target really is on the Hextia search when you're searching for your manifestation, which, like, if that gets ashed, it's not really that big of a deal, at least for your main combo. Oh, actually, no, I'm wrong, because Multifigure is a linchpin in the combo, and it's just a big card for you, and that gets ashed. It just eats Ash Blossom, so never mind, don't even listen to me. Multifigure is a great Ash target. The one thing I will say, though, is Droll, which I haven't been running into too much Droll lately online, but whenever I do see it, it's never really a big issue for Altergeist. You're really only doing 2 searches anyway, and that's Meluseek and Hextia, and you really only need the one. You just need to search for the Malwisp. Like, the Hextia is only searching for like Manifestation or Protocol, whatever trap you're not setting off of the Adminia. But that's kind of all I can really say. Oh, and another perk about this deck for sure is if you do manage to get off to the races and get combo off, you're probably going to win. There's no one single board breaker that just kills you. Like, not even, like, evenly matched, because you can just negate it with, like, Hextia. You don't lose to, like, Kaijus or Lava Golem or Dark Rulunomor or Harpy's Feather Duster. Like, there's a lot that you can really, like, stop. And another good thing about this deck is there is a lot of space for hand traps for non-engine. So, of course, and you're going to need it, because, like I said, like, this deck, especially if you have to go second, this deck just cannot play through any kind of interruptions. You need your Imperms, you need your Ghost Ogres, your Ash Blossoms, your evenly matches to try and prevent your opponent from playing the game, because otherwise you're going to lose, which is really unfortunate. Like, it's pretty solid against maybe casual decks, but otherwise, like, this thing is just not competitively viable, not in my opinion at least. A little quickly, I'll go over the deck that I've playing right now, and then I can show off some replays that I've got here. It's loosely, well, I say loosely, it's pretty heavily influenced by Pack TCG's list. I do have some big changes. For the main deck, the main difference is I'm not playing the Prosperities that he's playing. I've elected instead to play 3 Ghost Ogre. I just feel like Ghost Ogre is really strong right now. Whenever I draw it, I always feel like it works out pretty good for me. And Prosperity, I just can't like afford. I'm trying to orient towards budget players. I've also cut a Personal Spoofing, and I've elected to play Called by the Grave. I find that especially like Altergeist is a deck that you're usually going to be inside of a grindier game, and I find that a lot of the time I just draw like the second Personal Spoofing, and it's just like it's not a card you really want to see more than one of. And if you have two of them, you draw them often enough, but like the deck doesn't live or die by Personal Spoofing as much as it used to pre-support, I don't think. And I've elected to play Called by the Grave because, like I said, you can lose to one Veiler, one Ghost Ogre, one Ash, like, so you really want to be able to just negate those cards. I was dabbling around with playing um, Crossout Designator for a little bit, and that card was like fine, but it's not like it helps you play through stuff sometimes, but it's just not a very good card. And you can only play so many hand chips. Like you'll have the Imperm, the Ash Blossom, the Ogre, the Nib to banish off your Cross Designator, and then you just get Veilered, so it's like your card's just useless. Uh, but in the extra deck, the main things I'm different over Pack's list is I'm only playing 2 Hextia. I just find that there's so many ways to recycle it, you just don't need more than 2, really. One of those ways to recycle it is the Prime Banshee. I'm playing 2 Prime Banshee because, well, it's the main recycling card. It helps you get your Hextia back. It helps you get really anything back, all of your monsters. But also, it's good to have 2, I think, in case you just need to do the combo again. I'm playing 2 Adminia for the same thing of, like, in case you need to do the combo again. But also, I want to play 2 of each of these cards just because it can get banished off Unicorn. And then there's also a card coming out soon called Infection Buzz King. I think that's its name. It's number 1, I know that. Infection Buzz King. Yeah, this card can, look at your opponent's extra deck and send 1 card from it to the graveyard, which is just, you want to be able to use, I guess it's not banished, but you want to have your card in your extra deck to be able to use it. I think I also cut the Selene that I know Pack's playing just because I never summoned it enough. I replaced it with my personal spice, Kid Olga. This card I used a lot more when I was playing Altergeist, when everyone was playing DPE. It was just really nice to steal DPE from your opponent, but it is just a pretty solid card to help out with the OTK. If you do end up drawing good, like these two, like the Malwisp, like the new support does make it so it's pretty, like if you can make the combo, you can make a Memory Gant and a Kidolg to really make sure you're going for the OTK. Like you can attack with a Memory Gant and then use Kidolga to steal your opponent's monster and then tribute it from Memory Gant to just go in for the big swing. I think I have a replay that shows that. But just for the quick card by card, I'm playing 3 Marionetter. One of the best normal summons that just sets your trap from your deck. Usually you're setting Haunted Rock for the combo. 3 Meluseek. It's one of your main searching tools. And also it's a pretty good card for going second to just try and break the board, I guess. 3 Multifaker. It's just the best card I think in the main deck. It summons cards out of your extra deck. Or out of your summons cards from your deck. Just a really good card. Helps you get at your Silicoitus, which is I just play this 1 card. It's a good interruption to have. Bouncing cards is just something interesting to have. It's non-destruction removal. 2 Maoist, just because if you end up drawing, if you're playing at a 1 and you draw 1, then you can't do the combo, and having 2 means that you can do the combo more than once. And it's also like for grindier games, it's alright to draw later on in the game. I'm playing 3 Pukari. It's I think just the best extender the deck has. It works with any other card really to help make something at least. Penetrator, I like this card for combos. I don't really like drawing it all that often. 1 for 1 just to have a 4th copy of Meluseek. I'm playing 2 Protocol. You could probably play 1. I've been debating cutting it. I've been switching back and forth between 1 and 2. But I think the 2 is just better. If your opponent manages to like banish the 1 Protocol or something, then you have another way to get another one. It's your main monster negation. It's your only monster negation really outside of your non-engine, and it's really valuable to have. Plus, it has the effect where the activation and effects of Altergeist cards on the field can't be negated, which is so valuable to have. Manifestation, just a good reborn tool. I've debated playing this at 2 just because it has a good graveyard effect to reset your trap cards. For example, if your Protocol gets destroyed. I'm playing the Revitalization for sending it off Penetrator to get an extra normal summon. Haunted Rock, 'cause you unfortunately need it for the Marionetter. I hate this card though, it's so bad. It's glued to my hand always. I always open it. 2 Personal Spoofing. Sometimes it's nice if you draw Personal Spoofing in any Altergeist card, you can just set it and then search out Multifaker, and then you kind of have something to stay alive by. For the non-engine, I'm playing 3 Imperm and 3 Evenly Matched, just because they work so well with Multifaker. I think Ash Blossom's just a really good generic card. So is Ogre, I think. Droll, because there's a lot of decks out there that just, you can droll them. Playing the Called by the Grave, just like I said, to stop hand traps. For the extra deck, I'm playing 1 Arcanite Magician. It's something you can make going second with the Malwisp and Marionetter, and it can pop cards. I don't use it all that often, but it's good to have it. I don't really know what else I would play. Herald of the Arclight, it's sometimes, it can be good if you do end up getting like hand trapped and you end up with like a level 1 and Malwisp on the field. You can make a Herald of the Arclight, and if your opponent's playing a deck where they can't play through the macro, then you also just have an insta win. Dragvarion is just a good card for it's like like I said, you can make it a lot easier off the Malwisp, but it's like just a double tribute for Hextia or for the Protocol, because it just summons itself back off its tribute. 2 Hextia, it's just your best spell trap negation and its search power. It's just a really good card. Remember, again, for the OTK. 2 Prime Banshee, it helps you search out, like you can just turn any Altergeist monster into your Multifaker. It's kind of like Personal Spoofing, but in the extra deck. 2 Adminia, it's really good. It sets your traps from the deck. It's quick effect Snatch Steal, so good. Even like if you get Dark Rule, like it tributes itself for cost, and then their effect resolves in the graveyard. So even if it's negated, you can still distribute itself the same to do the effect. Hidolga, just for extra OTK potential. I think it's just a funny card to use. Playing the Unicorn Phoenix is just some generic removal. Linkuriboh for Meluseek. If you draw nothing but a Meluseek, you can normal summon them, go into a Linkuriboh, get a search, and hope you don't die. Or if you draw like a Meluseek and just like a trap, like an Imperm or whatever, then you can at least have a live Multifaker. And then I'm playing the Linguriboh just in case I get Ibleed, because this deck is a very potent link deck, and every single one of your main links requires Altergeist monsters specifically, which is really difficult for the deck, I think, because you can't play generic extenders, which really sucks. The side deck doesn't really matter. I just threw these in just as generic cards. You can throw in really whatever you want. The core of this deck cost me like $20 Canadian, which is a really good budget option, really. All of the non-engine stuff cost me about 80 Canadian, so like I completely understand if you gotta switch it up with other stuff, like another budget. Something else that looks more budget might be something like this. You can play things like Book of Moon, Forbidden Chalice, Skullmeister. I'm pretty sure DD Crow is cheap. The Bystials I don't think are all that. Like, I think there's some cheap Bystials. And then you can always just cut like the Herald of the Arclight and like, well, I guess Linguriboh was like 50 cents or something like that, so you can keep that in there. If you only have enough money to buy like a couple of the staples, I would recommend Imperm and Evenly Matched for this deck, because they just work so well with Multifaker. Some other generic traps you could play is like Compulse. You could play Trap Trick and have like a second manifestation in the deck. I just play these ones. I feel like they've been in enough structure decks recently where I feel like a lot of players might have them. Like I know Ash was just inside of the Ash and Ogre were both inside of the branded one. Droll, I don't know if that was in a structure deck recently. That might have been in the Trap Tricks one. I don't know for sure. Evenly Matched was, and Infinite Impermanence was inside of the Cyberdark one. And then I have some replays to show off, I suppose. So this first one I want to show off is just showing kind of how the combo works, and just shows that if you do have the combo, chances are you're just going to win. Like my opponent here has no interruptions really up against Unchained, which is a pretty cool tech, I think, right now. They just got their new support. I'm not too familiar with the deck, but I'm pretty sure that this guy right here is a brick in the deck. I don't really know though. But here's just the combo. Of course, here's Adminia. You can do tons of huge chain blocking stuff here, like the Pukri can let you just chain block everything, which is really nice. As you can see, like you're ending on pretty good stuff here. This is like right here. This is After draw phase, a Snatch Steal, 2 Spell Trap negates, and then a Meluseek bounce, and the opponent just looked at their hand and was like, no, I can't play through this. So, like, sometimes you get your combo off, you're just going to insta-win, which is nice. This next replay, though, just shows how sometimes your hand is just awful. You just brick. This was back when I was playing Kaijus in the deck for going second, just because I couldn't not. Like, if I went second, I just died. This hand I did... Or no, yeah, this is just still a brick, straight up. Even after, with a 6 card. And, like, against Runic particularly, this just sucks. Like, you only play the 1 manifestation, it's getting banished off there, that sucks. I'm against this really cool deck, I think, the Horus Runic deck. But against the deck that's just really good at controlling the board and keeping you off monsters, like this deck is, you're just not going to be able to do anything against them. And if not for the fact that they kept, like, throwing their battle phase around, I would have been dead already. Yeah. And then there I just lost the protocol, which really sucks. I'm down 2 of my 3 Marionetter. I think in this build of the deck, I think I was playing 2 protocol at this point still. Maybe I wasn't. But at this point, I've lost a ton of my card advantage. I was able to make, just, like, this is 7 cards deep. I'm drawing nothing. I have nothing. Absolute garbage. Like, no deck bricks quite like Altergeist does, in my experience. Like, especially again, like, this is a deck that I wouldn't even call, like, really top tier. It's just like a Runic Horus. It's just, like, they're not really ending on anything, and I just can't do anything about it. Here's the Buzz King. What did they send? My Linkaribo? So not even my Meluseek is online anymore. Finally, I'm able to make something happen with the Malwisp, because I already had the Multifaker in the grave. Oh, wait, no, because you can't use the Multifaker effect off the Meluseek, but, like, you just end on Hextia, and that's all you can do. Now, luckily, my opponent still didn't have their battle phase here. But finally here, what is this, turn 8, and I could finally have combo online. Now, of course, my opponent doesn't really have any kind of interruption here, but, oh, they do have this. I don't know why they're not doing it. But here's the Kadola stuff. I've done the Memory Gant Kadola, and yeah, they just had the pop, so it didn't even matter. I believe this is the round 2 of that, where, once again, I absolutely brick my nuts off. I just can't do anything. And I believe I just die here. There's one of my Malwisps. There's a Marionette. My protocol's gone. I can droll them, which is nice and does kind of end their turn. Like, Runic's a deck that's, you know, doesn't really do too hot against getting drolled. There's my Haunted Rock, so not even Marionette does anything now. Jeez, this Horus deck just really just goes and goes and goes. And the Giga Trainer is just drawing 3 cards. That's crazy. And I just have to sit here and just watch them. And there's the Revitalization, so not even extra normal anymore. I draw Meluseek. I already have my Linkaribo gone. Like, turn 6, if it wasn't for the fact that this guy did not have a battle phase, I would just be dead, because the deck is just not doing anything. Like, finally I drew, like, some kind of way to keep myself in the game of personal spoofing. They're making ding. I get Ash on the personal spoofing. You can't do anything. And that's just game. Because for just, 4 turns in a row, just didn't really draw anything. Sometimes when you brick with this deck, you just really, really brick. This was a duel against Blackwing. where both of us kind of bricked. Or they didn't really brick. It's just that I had the Ash for that, and then I had the, of course, multi-faker here. Like, sometimes you do get a hand where you just have a trap in the multi-faker, and sometimes that is, like, it's good to have, for sure. But, like, just one bounce is not always enough. Like, right here, I had to be forced out. Here's my opponent, just playing through. It doesn't look like this guy's deck is particularly good. I don't think the Black Wing deck is very good at all. But here we are, getting the Malice. Like, spoofing is a pretty good card still, but like I said, like, there's the Malice has got hit, and the 10E just prevents it. Like, this is nothing. This is not a particularly fabulous. Getting ashed on that again really sucks. I don't know why I didn't Manifestation, but another prick right there. Like, just can't do anything. Of course, just going battle phase. Like, this is just one interruption, and just, oh my god. Like, the deck just bricks. Just bricks and bricks and bricks and bricks and bricks. This is one where I did completely brick. Like, I did have the multi-figure, I guess, for the Imperm, but I just also wanted to show it off because sometimes that's just enough to make your opponent quit. And they just surrendered on the Junk Speeder. Here's one that I did just this morning, just an absolutely atrocious. Like, sure, I have a lot of non-engine, but, like, this hand doesn't do anything. And I'm playing against, of course, Evil Swarm, which, for some reason, this guy was inside of the competitive ladder, or I guess, or the servers. And once again, I just drew nothing. Just absolute bricked. I figured this guy's probably not going to kill me. I'll just sit. I have the hand traps to stop him from doing a lot of things, but really, that's not getting me anywhere. Once again, just another, like, at least Imperm can get the multi-faker online. But if I wasn't playing against Evil Swarm, like this terrible, terrible deck, I would be completely dead. Like, it's crazy how, like, I still can't do anything. Turn 7. And I think at this point the player surrendered. But I really just wanted to show off just how, like, bad the deck can really, oh, I didn't mean to do that. How bad the deck can brick. Even here, this is, like, open up this hand, and I guess, sure, you have the personal spoofing for the Pukri, but this is going second. This is a terrible going second hand. Of course, you control your opponent. I think they're playing pure... Oh, no, they're playing Adventure Sprite. Okay. I did draw a good top deck here. The Maluseek did get the combo online. But here you go, just the Imperm on the Malwisp just ended the turn, ended the combo right there. Now, yeah, he surrendered. I don't know why he did that. I think he was perfectly fine with the caddy, but once again, another hand that's just, like, kind of a brick. This is a going second hand that just doesn't really do anything. Sure, you have the hand traps, but, like, you're not really threatening much of anything with this hand. Multi-faker pass is just not good enough to be the top decks anymore. Unchained guy is just popping off. Like, this deck does seem pretty cool. All of the Unchained stuff, but ending on, yeah, TD Wave King Caesar. Like, here, you can normal summon Maluseek, and you can, you know, pop off, or you can go for the battle phase, but that's pretty much all I got. And then you go for the Malice effect, but it got negated, and that's all I can do. There's nothing else I can do. I've already used my normal. All I can really do now is just set spoofing and hope for the best. Decided to just use it early, just to get it out of the way. Get a Pukri hopefully for the next turn. Multi-figure effect, I just get impermed. And all the opponent now has to do is just find lethal. Or just even just destroy all my cards, and I just can't do anything. And I'm pretty sure, if memory serves, that they do find lethal here. can't imagine this deck can't. Yeah, and there we go. Unchained 3. I don't know why it's level 3 and not 2. Maybe I didn't save the game 2 on accident. Here, I, once again, didn't really draw the combo. I just have to set Protocol and Imperm and hope that's enough. But Harpy Feather Duster just kills that. If you don't draw the combo, you just die to Harpies, pretty much. And, you know, this guy just gets to play completely unimpeded. They're just going to pop off, get their combo online. Oh, this is lethal. Yep. You just brick. This deck just bricks all the time. It loses to one little interruption. It just, you know, you just die to anything. This was, I think, like the closest game I think I had. And it was against Earth Arctic. A deck that I don't think anyone thinks is anywhere near good. But this hand was alright. I shouldn't have shuffle packed the Multi-Faker in case they had the Ash Blossom, but I did anyway, and it worked out just fine. But I summon the Multi-Faker, and I can make the Silicoitus. But here, this is 2 interrupts, and we'll see if I can beat Earth's Arctic here. They've got a lot of stuff here going on. Most I can do, yeah, like they force out the Protocol. I have to use the Silicoitus bounce. And they're just going to make Changing. Now, of course, this isn't like a crazy board because, like I said, it's against Earth's Arctic. But, of course, the Malwisp is pretty solid to have for the spoofing. So the Coitus, I can bounce the Changing back. Opponents is getting a lot of stuff off here. This deck just click yes turbo. Holy cow, everything's going off. But I do manage to get the combo off here. Or at least have the pieces for the combo. And like when you do get it off, it is like really good. Like I'm playing a lot of cards here, and I'm able to get, you know, you're getting a lot of advantage off only a couple cards, which is really nice. And you know, you can go to the battle phase and clear things, but really that is your main form of clearing things. Is just the battle phase with this deck too. You don't really have regular popping. Like you can't make like a Baronne de Fleur and pop the board, or make a Zeus or anything like that. You kind of just have to chew through it. So for, you know, a deck like a Star Tech who can just barf out a bunch of cards, you do kind of have to, you know, play the longer game. And here I do, you know, just showing off just a mini. It's, you got the combo online. Even on turn 3 is when I got it online, and it still just wins the game. Overall, I don't think that this deck's going to be met anytime soon. Now, I'm open to being wrong, of course. Maybe people with the inclusion of Prosperity will make this deck enough. I'm not totally certain if it will. I don't think it will. I think I've, you know, that was a lot of my footage. Like, most of my footage that I got was just me bricking and getting OTK'd. Like, most of the, like, duels I did. So I couldn't even show them off here because it just wasn't good content at all. But, of course, in most of those, I think showed off like 10 of these, something like that, and yeah, like 8 of them like I bricked. This deck just, it bricks like crazy. The times that I did draw the combo, it was just, you got interrupted and killed. This deck is just, it's not that great. And sure, maybe it's fun. I think it's fun personally. I've been playing this deck for a long time, and I really do hope that maybe we get another card, maybe a generic extender, just a card that's like, if you have an Altergeist, summon it from the hand. But for right now, I don't think the Altergeist support does it. And that's really my final thoughts for Altergeist. I hope you liked the video. If you didn't, leave a comment telling me how bad it was. I know I have a long way to go. But thank you for watching. See ya.